And that's what we're going to jump into tonight, guys. We're going to jump into this place in Peru, right? And so, are you ready to get into it, Jay? Now that we laid the groundwork into it, right? So, if you might not know this, there is a legend, especially in Peru, about creatures that come out of the jungle at night and they attack villagers. And during the attack, they remove the villagers' faces down to the bone. They take the face away, but leave the skull, the skull intact, but they basically take their face away. There's only one small detail that's on that, right? Is that this is done with laser precision. These people are attacked and surgically straight lines are applied to them and their faces are removed. And this is a real thing. This is not something that's like, they have the bodies, they have the stories, right? And so that's what we're going to get into. That's the legend of the Peruvian face pillars, or the Los Pelicares.
Los Pelicares.
Yeah, it's Pelicar. I need to work on my Spanish. Pelicares, right? So Jay, now that we've talked about that, give us the background on the folklore. I mean, the folklore behind it. Like, this is not something new. It's new to us, but it's not something new to them. It's something that's been happening for them for quite a while, Jay.
Yeah. So there's a narrative that seems to tie, like it's a long-standing Andean, Amazonian myth of the Pistacos. The Pistaco is a folkloric boogeyman in Peru and Bolivia that's said to kill people to extract their fat. Because to them, fat is important. Like it's there's almost like a religious significance to it. It keeps them. I mean, obviously it's important, right? But to them, it is this almost, religious importance to it.
The essence of life, or something like that, right?
Right. Yeah. So the Pistacos are often seen as outsiders, like described as white men or mestizos, who they prey on the indigenous folks, and they're stealthy. They remove fat for various uses, like medicine or lubrication or whatever, in the folk belief, right? There's variants all over the Amazon jungle. These creatures take body parts, cause disease, prey on flesh, organs, and they have names from different tribe to tribe, right? So these face peeler stories have some similarities, and they're kind of like, it might be like an adaptation or an amplification of these old legends, right?
Yeah.
Because of all of the, like, there's a lot of logging and mining and stuff that's happening in the Amazon right now.
Right.
So those people are under threat, right? So these legends kind of creep up into the normal consciousness of, it's like a fear thing, right? So when you have these old legends, we like to call people demons, right? That are like, evil people doing evil things. They become almost mythical or legendary in people's minds.
Yeah, and it's burned into the, again, you're dealing. This is not a put down. This is just a fact. You're dealing with people with fourth grade educations who reading and writing don't come into play every day. These are fishing villages. These are people who live in the jungle, and this is most of their traditions are oral traditions passed down. So the fish tacos, or whatever Jay just called them there, the
fish tacos.
The fish tacos, right? The fish tacos, right? It's something that they're probably passed down as their boogeymen, right? But there is a slight difference between these creatures or this legend. And again, on this channel, if you've watched this any amount of time, right, you know that at baseline level, if we look at something and there's not something unexplainable going on, like something is happening, we won't talk about it. This is happening. People down there are getting their faces taken. We're going to talk about what's doing it in a second, but the fact that right there is that's shocking to me, right? That's shocking that this is going on, right? And I'm going to give you the first. I did a little quick dive, right? And these people keep having these encounters with these things coming from the jungle, and they're always a violent encounter, right? The first case that came up was this guy named Juan Cervante in 2013 in this area. He was in this, they were found his body in Lake Amarilla, right? With no face. He was obviously deceased and his face was removed surgically. They tried to say that piranhas did it, but everybody knew that wasn't true, right? The second case, a boy was found 10 years later in the same area with the same thing, but not in the lake this time. The third case that I found, right, was September the 2nd, 2023. Pablo Verdelis from Pacuna Lake. They tried to get him, but he fought back with a shotgun and he drove them off, right? And all that was one-offs in this area until around July. Oh, at the same time that happened in September, right before that, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get that correct. Same time that Pablo fought off his attacker in September in an area, another major hotspot in that area was this place called San Antonio Dimpacu, right? And it's a remote village in the jungle occupied by these indigenous people called the Akadu people. And the only way to get to their village is a 10-hour boat ride, right? down the Ni River. That's incredible to me. That's incredible. There's no 911. There is no hospital. No, that's it, man. Like literally 10 hours down the Amazon in a boat to get to their village. And in July of 2023, they were getting attacked every single night by face peelers, right? Their village was almost on the verge of being devastated. The men were fighting back with shotguns, but what they were saying is they were describing that there were 7-foot tall beings in black armor, and when they shot their shotguns at them, the pellets just bounced off, and these things could levitate. They were armored. They were armored, right? And so they literally were starving to death because they could not go out into the wilderness. They were scared to go and hunt. They were scared to do, all this stuff. And they knew every night when the sun went down, Jay, they were going to have to fight off like the face peelers, right?
Basically these boogeymen in the jungle.
Yeah. And this happened. No one, and it's funny, this happened. They don't dispute this. Eventually the Peruvian authorities got involved, and they went out there and they're like, oh yeah, this is going on, but what's attacking you is rogue gold miners in jetpacks. Let that sink in.
Right.
let that sink in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Jay, so rogue gold miners in jetpacks were attacking this random village for unknown reasons and peeling off people's faces.
Probably. I mean, one of the things is being like with the technological difference, right? Between these tribal peoples, right? These people who are not at a technological standard and don't understand what they're seeing.
Right.
And then you have sophisticated people, like paramilitary organization that works for the gold mining company, because if you're mining gold, you've got some money, obviously. Right.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.